Hi everyone, welcome back to my second tutorial. Today I'm going to teach how to play the on drive. The on drive has very similar properties to the forward defense and the forward off drive, which I went through in my first tutorial. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. It's going to be very helpful for this video here. I'm going to very quickly go through a recap on the key points of the forward defense and the forward drive, because these can be used when playing the on drive. But if you want to go into more depth, then make sure you go check out my previous video. Right, so for the recap, I'm first going to go through the stance. You just want to be nice and relaxed, have your knees slightly bent and have your feet shoulder width apart, like this, like so. Right, for the forward defense, you just want to take your front foot, place next to where the ball is pitching, rotate your front shoulder towards the direction of the ball, take your back and place it down with soft hands at 45 degrees and your head on top of your front knee. For the forward drive, you want to do the same thing, but rather than placing your back down, you want to go through with the shot and extend your arms all the way, and that's how you play the front foot drive. So now that I've done the recap, I'm going to very quickly talk about the on drive. It's probably one of the hardest shots to execute for a batsman. If you ask any senior player at the club or an international player, if you get the chance to, I'm sure they'll say the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go through the technique and then some drills. Alright, so you want to get into your stance. Right, you play the on drive when the ball is pitching on middle stump or on leg stump. Anything that pitches outside leg stump, you normally don't tend to on drive. You still can, but it's slightly harder to do. If it's pitching outside leg, normally you do flick it, but I haven't taught you that yet, so don't worry about it. Okay, you want to place your front foot next to the pitch of the ball, and because the ball is slightly fuller, you can have a smaller stride. You don't want to have too large of a stride, because then you won't be able to drive the ball. You'll almost york yourself. Okay, so you want to take a smaller stride. Right, you want to make sure that your front toe is pointing towards the umpires and not covers. Okay, so like this and not like this. This is because if you do find yourself pointing your toe towards covers or to extra cover, you lock yourself and you don't get as much power into the ball. Chances of you missing it and getting LB are higher too. So, just like with the forward drive and forward defense, I'm going to take my front foot, place it next to the ball. You can see that my back has gone back. Automatically, as my back goes back, you can see that my front shoulder has also gone towards the pitch of the ball. Okay, and as I come down to drive, if you have a look at my back foot, I don't know if you can see, you can see that my back foot has also gone towards the umpire, and the reason for that is because it creates more power in the shot. For example, if you were to stand like this, right, and punch, yeah, you can test this out at home in free space, make sure no one's around you, right? If you punch like this, there's not going to be as much power. If you stand side on, and as you punch, you really twist your hip and your back leg. So if I'll do it again, you can sense, you can feel more power in your punch. The same goes with the on drive. So you place your foot here, bring your back shoulder in, and as you're driving, right, you can see that my back leg has turned. Okay, but make sure, right, when you're playing the on drive, you don't turn it too early. The reason for that is because if you turn your back foot too early, you're too square on, right, okay, and that's when your bottom hand comes into play. If you were to play the on drive square on, it's going to be really difficult for you to use your top hand, and then your bottom hand comes into play, and when your bottom hand comes into play, chances of the ball going up in the air and getting caught are higher also. So make sure that the timing of your back foot turning is on point, right? Okay, so it's not meant to be one movement, it's meant to be in one motion, but as you're playing the shot, it gradually turns. It's not here, it's as it goes back. You can see it's turning slightly, and as I make impact, it's fully turned and facing the umpire. Okay, you want to make sure that when you play the on drive, the ball is right under your eyes. Okay, I've gotten out many times before like this. I've played it too early, okay, and because I've played it too early, the ball has gone in the air and I've been caught. Right, also with the on drive, when you make impact with the ball, right, you can just tighten your bottom hand slightly. Okay, you don't want to tighten it too early because then you'll give a catch. But as you make impact, if you tighten your bottom hand just so that it gets that extra power so that you can beat the fielder, it can also help your on-drive. Alright, so for the first drill, just like in my previous video, it's going to be shadow practice. You want to get into your stance, right? Call out 1. So here you ensure that your front toe is pointing towards the umpire and not covers. Take your bat back, head forward, shoulder rotating towards the ball, and then when you call out 2, you drive. So 2, and here is when you ensure that your back leg, your back foot has also turned, and your head weight is forward. Okay? Right, so if I was to do this in one motion, I'll go 1 and 2, and then hold my shot for 3 seconds. Okay? One of the reasons for this shot being extremely hard is because of the head position. When playing the off drive or the cover drive, you may be able to get away with your head falling very slightly to the offside. Okay, but with the on drive, even if your head is falling slightly over to the offside, you can be in a lot of trouble, and that's why youngsters or even adults struggle to play the on drive. So you want to make sure that your head is going forward at all times. Okay, so if I was to do this again, so 1 and 2, and then hold your shot for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then that's how you do the first drill without using any tennis balls. Okay, right, for the second drill, you want to get the tennis ball in your right hand and then hold the bat in your left hand. You want to drop it very close to you, unlike the off drive where you can drop it slightly further away. You want to drop the tennis ball probably, if you take a small step forward around there. So if I was to drop it here on leg stump, and you want to drive on the second bounce, okay? So 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and hold it for 3 seconds, and then look back and see whether your toe is turned, whether everything is good, and then you do this again. So 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and that's how you do the second drill. Okay, so for this drill you will need an assistant, your mum, dad or sister or brother. I'm using my sister. You will need a couple of tennis balls, okay? You want to get into your stance, right? And you want to take a very small stride forward, like I'm doing so here. Make sure your toe is pointing forward, and hold the bat in your left hand, and you want them to feed the ball to your middle or leg stump. And you want to drive, but you're not allowed to move your front foot. So you're not allowed to take a step forward, you just want to leave your front foot there, okay? And let your hands and head do all the work. That's the key part. Make sure your head's going forward, okay? So we should drive. Okay, for the second ball, hold the bat in your right hand. Okay, and then for the third ball, hold the bat in both your hands, leave your front foot planted there. Okay, that's fine. And then you want to repeat. Now if you find yourself doing this, okay, that's fine. As long as you're going forward and towards the ball and not falling over to the offside. And the reason for that is because when playing the on drive, because your front foot stride is so small and your head is going forward, you will find that your head sometimes goes further than your front knee, and that's not a problem. But what you will find is because your head is in front of your front knee, that your body has to go forward. It can't stay there, okay? Just like if you were to fall over on the offside, because your head's falling, you follow it. Just like that in the on drive, if your head goes forward, right, and it goes slightly far too forward, and you walk, that's fine, so don't worry. So for these last 2 balls, I'm going to do that again. Hold it for 3 seconds, okay, and then bottom hand. And that's how you do drill 3.
Let the ball do its thing. out O.
Okay guys, so that's how you play the on drive. I just went through the technique and some drills that you can do at home. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.